Last time we were discussing Sutra 19, Bhava Pratyaya, Videha Prakriti Layana. And that literally meant that some of the people, some of us, are naturally inclined to and equipped with all the necessary prerequisites which will help us succeed in achieving the highest goal of yoga. Okay. And this was defined as two categories of people who are there. One was called Videha, and the other one was called Prakriti Laya. These are the two categories wherein we have naturally all the strengths gained in our past lives through our practices, through our way of living, that we become someone who can easily tread the path of yoga. Videha and Prakriti Laya. These two type of yogis are said to be the ones who have quite deeper impressions of their past lives. Sometimes they have exact memories also. So those who have exact memories are, of course, highest equipped of them. And the ones who are having highest of impressions, that is kind of second category. Yet both of them would be the most appropriate candidate for yoga. Sutra 20 actually talks about for the other category, right? Other means these are wise people taking rebirth, and they are destined to be yogi. Now we are talking of other wise people. Okay. So other wise people, for them what works, Patanjali says. What is the sutra? Patanjali says, Shraddha, virya, smriti, samadhi, prajna, purvaka, iteresha. Iteresha. Sutra 20. Shraddha, virya, smriti, samadhi, prajna, purvaka, iteresha. All right. So while this sutra might be kind of an indicator that we are not as fortunate as Bhava Pratyaya and Videha. Bhava Pratyaya, which means Videha and Prakriti Laya. But you should also take into account the fact that those who have reached to that state of Videha and Prakriti Laya, they have actually passed through this phase, which Sutra 20 is talking about. Because they worked on this, they were also iteration. They were also someone other than the one which is destined to become a yogi. But through their conviction and devotion, and Patanjali defines exactly what works. It is said, Shraddha, which is faith, Virya, Virya has been a word which has been generally translated as semen, but that's not the correct translation. In the spiritual domain, virya means vigor, enthusiasm. And why it is called so? Because if you see the whole process of losing physical virya in case of males, you will find that after that virya or semen is lost, the vigor is also lost for some time. The enthusiasm, the energy, the capacity, they become dull. So, what does it mean? Virya is not a material, it is a state of being. Okay? Because in the tradition of yoga, there have been females also, and they have been referred to as yoginis. So if virya gets translated as semen, yoginis will not fit here. Understand? Therefore, you must understand that shraddha is the faith, virya is a vigor, then smriti. Smriti means the how smriti was defined, because smriti was defined as a vritti in panchavritti. अनुभूत विषया अनुभूत विषयाम sampromosha, अनुभूत विषया sampromosha smriti, which means whatever you have experienced, whatever you have learned, your retentive power, the capacity to recall that wisdom, that experience, that learning, that statement at the right time. Smriti. Okay. So that is one. Then it is called samadhi. Now this samadhi has a different meaning. Samadhi has two meanings. Samadhi means where samadhan, the resolution is handed over. That's one meaning of samadhi. Right? Another one is samadhana adhi. Samadhana adhi means there is an equilibrium, there is a state of equilibrium of adhi means there any disturbance. Disturbances can be of any. Adhi and vyadhi, these are two disturbances. Okay? Adhi and vyadhi, there are two disturbances. Vyadhi is mostly referred to as a disturbance in the physical body. Adhi is something which is referring to antahakarana, inner environment. Okay? So some adhi would mean here that your inner environment is still, ripple free, free of turbulence. Not the samadhi which is referring to the highest goal of yoga. So samadhi here is stillness of mind. Stillness of mind, not leading, it should not be referred to as the ultimate achievement here, because samadhi is the ultimate achievement of what? Yoga. Which type of samadhi? Asampragnat samadhi. But this samadhi is not neither asampragnat samadhi nor sampragnat samadhi. Samadhi is stillness of inner environment. That means peaceful mind, a content inner environment which is least disturbing. that is samadhi. And finally, prajna purvaka. Prajna. Prajna means intuition. Intuitive wisdom is called prajna. Hmm? Now, this is another way of living your life. One way of living your life is applying your mind and logic all the time, and making a balance sheet all the time. Left column versus right column, hmm? Pros versus cons, strength versus weaknesses, no? The gains versus consequences, etc., etc. This is one way of living. That is logical way of living, where you apply your intellect. And intellect is always limited in a sense, because you cannot apply anything which you have not learned, right? So when you are able to look beyond the normal intelligence which you possess, that means with faith, with with a stability of mind, in that state of enthusiasm, when you are granted that kind of wisdom which is not dependent on calculations. Okay. Hmm? And that is a possibility only when your mind is still, right? And that is also, you see, each and every thing must be taken in sequence as well as separately. Shraddha being the first thing, the vigor, enthusiasm should be the next thing. Because without Shraddha, your enthusiasm cannot come. If you are not sure of reaching a place by walking a path, will you be enthused towards that? You will not be. Simple. Therefore, Shraddha is the first prerequisite. Now, Shraddha in itself can become a way of paving your path towards the Chittavritti Nirodha. But if you have still having a lot of disturbances, so many vasanas, etc., then you'll have to work on it. Without having that kind of enthusiasm, it will be very difficult for you to follow all the do's given by your teacher, hmm, to reach to that state where your mind becomes still. Samadhi. Now, this samadhi is a stillness of mind in a sense that it is not disturbed, right? It is ekagra. We have learned the bhumikas, right? Chitta bhumikas, where we have said mood, kshipta, vikshipta, ekagra, and niruddha. These were bhumikas, right? So here this samadhi does not mean niruddha state. This samadhi means either vikshipta or ekagra. From there, in this bag. Vikshipta, vikshipta is the word which mostly in Hindi uses has been referred to mostly now. The connotation of this word vikshipta is as if the person has become, has whole system has gone haywire. Right? This is not in control, not in senses. Right? This is vikshipta. Kshipta mind means is the ones which has many waves. Vikshipta mind has Vikshipta. V means special. Kshipta means specially oriented waves. Waves oriented in a particular direction. For example, generally your mind is a kshipta, but suppose when you are listening to a very strong piece, I mean very pleasant piece of music, it is to be called vikshipta. Okay, from vikshipta you can go to ekagra. Understand? But you become completely concentrated on this music. So vikshipta is a higher state of mind as compared to kshipta. So ordinary meaning of the word vikshipta is not used here in in this yoga shastra. The word vikshipta means kshipta in vishesha, with some visheshata. That means with some speciality. So instead of having 1,000 types of ripples, 1,000 types of currents in your mind, you have mostly one type of current. For example, a person who is ordinarily thinking is called kshipta, but the one who is thinking about only one object in one direction will be called a vikshipta. In this system of yoga, I'm not talking of the ordinary understanding of the word vikshipta. From that vikshipta, one will have the capacity, or natural progression is to move to ekagra, that concentrated state. And from concentrated state to that highest possible state, which is called a niruddha. So here samadhi is somewhere close vikshipta and ekagra, more close to ekagra. Ekagra is that state where you can say, I am still. Comparatively, now I'm still. Now my mind is no more a problem because it is available wherever I need, whenever I need, and I have some control on it. See. So this control, the more the control, these grades will be seen manifested. They can be seen getting manifested sequentially. From mood to kshipta to vikshipta to ekagra and to niruddha, naturally progressing. So there is this system. What will help others? So shraddha, virya, smriti, samadhi, and prajna. Prajna means using higher wisdom, ordinary wisdom. Let me translate. I don't have prajna. I have only logic. So how do I use prajna? Let me tell you how ordinary wisdom can become prajna. See, or whatever wisdom you have as of now, whatever wisdom you have, whatever set of logic you have, just strip it off from its specificities. It will become higher wisdom. For example, someone in your neighborhood suffered a loss. Let's say somebody died. Now, when you have taken out a lesson, let's say, what is the lesson? Oh, this person could have been saved if he would have been treated in a different hospital by a different set of doctors, and so many things we can put as a condition. Now we are putting specifics to arrive at our intended or expected results, rather than accepting the fact that death is an imminent thing in this world. which can come to anyone, anywhere. So the learning is death is something which can come to any person, anywhere, in whatever condition. Person may be taken to the best hospitals, under the best doctor team of doctors, under the best of treatments, still death may come. So that means what? You should be accepting and taking the lesson as what? Death is something which can come to anyone at any time. Equally apply it to yourself, not that it is to be applied only on others. That kind of learning will become wisdom, prajna. Okay, where you strip off the specificities, the ifs and buts from a learning, right? So whatever you have learned in your life by now, apply it, keep it in your inner psyche all the time, and apply it. What will it do? It will only lead to samadhi. Samadhi will be strengthened by prajna and also by smriti. You'll have to have a smriti. Smriti of recollecting right type of things at right time. For example, if you have learned somewhere that most of us have gone through that story of Gautam the Buddha and appreciated too much that you see Buddha became a renunciate. He left his family life, he left his kid, he left his wife, uh, and he moved to forest only in the search of truth, the real purpose of life, you know, in the search of how to end the suffering, etc. And we also have clearly known what are those reasons for which Buddha became so. You say Buddha saw an what you call a diseased man, an old man, and a dead man. These were the three things Buddha saw, right? So for Buddha, this became intuitive, prajna. You see, prajna. Why? The moment he learned that this is a diseased man, he asked the charioteer, what is this man? Why this man is behaving in such a way? The charioteer replied that this man is diseased. Said okay. So he asked, so the disease can come to anyone? See the question. Then disease can come to anyone, including me. See, the charioteer was actually instructed by the king that he should not utter any words in front of this prince whose name was Gautam. Don't utter any word which leads him to think that this world is not a place to be, is full of suffering, etc. So he said, I'm not allowed to speak. He says, I am the prince, the would-be king of this state, and if you don't follow me, I'll punish you. Then out of that fear, he said, okay, since you're asking, since you're ordering, I will tell you. Yes, disease can come to anyone, including you. Okay. Then he went ahead. He saw an old man. He says, this man, see, till that time, Gautam had not seen even a dried leaf in his garden. That much arrangement the father had made. Not a dried leaf, not a dried rose in his garden. so that he doesn't get the clue also that the things are not beautiful as beautiful, or they can deteriorate, or this world is temporary, etc. Because there was this there was this kind of forecast which was made by astrologers. Either your son will be very, very materialistic person, a great king, or he will become a great saint, great ascetic. That was the to become saint, ascetic, renunciate. You have to face the problems. You must see the problems of the world to come to that mode. And therefore, king thought, the father of Gautam thought that if I do not expose this person in any case with any sort of negativity of life, he will never have that idea. And then the other possibility of him becoming a renunciate, becoming a sannyasi, becoming a spiritual person will be nullified. And that was the reason he was always surrounded with beautiful maidens, good music, perfumed rooms, everything in order. No old man was allowed, no diseased man was allowed. The garden was maintained in such a way that hundreds of gardeners will continue to pick even dried leaves away from the garden, so that when he walks, everything is lush green. Okay, but for him, he questioned, old, this fellow? I have never seen such a fellow. You say, who is he? You say, he's an old man. Acha, he's an old man. Does old age come to everyone? Again, you see, he was not ready to answer this question. But again, Gautam insisted, threatened. He answered, yes. I'm sorry to say, but yes, you will also become old. And the third was the final icebreaker, the defining moment. He saw a dead man. Everyone knows this story, but we have not understood. Gautam understood, became a Buddha. Things happen around us. We don't take a note of it. We still think and insist that things, specific things, now we don't strip off their specificities, and we think that no, life is something else. Life is not that. So when he saw a dead man, he asked, what is this? Where are these people carrying this fellow? What is it? Is it that body? What are they going to do? Is it they are going to take it for cremation? What is cremation? He asked. Cremation means the body is going to be burnt into ashes, is turned into ashes. You mean this type of body it is? You say, yes, this type of body. Do you mean everybody dies? Sorry to say, but yes, everybody dies. Just three things. Is stripped of the specificities. He applied it to everyone, including himself, and was sufficient for Vairagya, sufficient for giving him higher wisdom. That this world, number one, is not permanent. There is suffering. There is old age. Applied. Now look at your own case. How are we looking at it? No. Everyone gets old, but my father, my mother, my husband, my wife, my this, my that will continue to live forever. What is it? Are we fool? Yes, we are. We are not applying prajna. We are not applying wisdom. If someone gets diseased, we say, oh no, why it happened to me? The world is like this. Apply it everywhere. It can happen to us also. Right? But So are we really intelligent when we think and we say that no, I'm intelligent? Intelligence means what? Intelligent means what? Continue to expect, continue to aspire for the things which are out of the order. Is that our intellect? Is that our wisdom? Then that will not happen. So smriti. So anyone who has seen disease, who has seen old age, who has seen death, and if he has remembered that story of Gautam the Buddha at the right time, he would have some kind of solace, some kind of deeper understanding of the facts of life. So smriti does help. And smriti of one thing, when it is devoid of specificities and applied to everyone in general, including self, becomes prajna. I'm giving you away. Okay. So how a yogi will become more deeply rooted in his discipline, how a yogi will develop higher capacities within him, that's the possibility. Shraddha, virya, smriti, samadhi, and prajna. For the others, this is the way, right? For the wise men, that was the way. They were anyways destined to reach the highest. For the otherwise, this is the way, right? Now, this is the problem. We listen, but we don't remember it. Without smriti, you will not be. Without shraddha, you will not be. Without vigor, without zeal, without enthusiasm, you will not be. And without having stillness of mind, inner peace, you will not be. Without relying on intuitive wisdom, you will not be able to progress on the path of yoga and cannot call yourself a yogi. That's it. Right? And if you think that yoga is different, bhakti is different, sometimes people think this way. No, bhakti karenge, yoga nahi karenge, yoga to difficult. It is very difficult, you see. It's telling this and that. Bhakti means what? Bhakti is also taking you in that direction. By the way, Bhakti Mata has two sons. If they are not born, they are not nourished, they are not nourished, the Bhakti Mata will also be weak. Why? Because a mother becomes full of joy, full of health, full of positivity, full of nourishment when she sees that her sons are well taken care of. And the two sons of Bhakti Mata are told to be Jnana Vairagya. Okay. Vairagya. Now, if you are doing bhakti, Vairagya has not come, so your bhakti is maiden bhakti. Vandhya bhakti. Vandhya bhakti. The one who is incapable of giving birth to these two sons called Jnana Vairagya. Vandhya bhakti will not take you anywhere. Ekadha. Ananya. Ananya bhakti. So Ananya means you have to forget Anya. There is only one. Anya means others. Ananya means where there is none other. Neither mother nor father nor any social obligations, nothing. You are not devoted to anything. You are only devoted to your deity, your God. That is called Ananya Bhakti. So only Ananya Bhakti can lead to Jnana Vairagya. Otherwise, it will be Vandhya Bhakti. You are equally concerned about your kids, kins, family, father, mother, wife, daughter, in-laws, outlaws, everyone. Hmm? You're not doing bhakti. Because bhakti gives you that state where you always believe that your deity is the most powerful and is central to the whole universe. He has all the powers to control every speck of this creation, and therefore whatever happens in this world is as per his or her wish, as per his or her commands. Then if anything happens in your place, if anything happens, contrary to your expectations, and you say नहीं नहीं गड़बड़ हो गया, गड़बड़ कैसे हो गया? अगर भक्ति है तो गड़बड़ कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता. Because whatever has happened as at the behest of my Lord, my Goddess, whosoever, doesn't matter. So bhakti is that. Understand? So if it is not happening, if it is not taking you to the highest desirable state of your inner consciousness, never mind, never mind, never mind. Each and every step in this on this path is of utmost importance. And as Krishna says in Gita, that every step taken is always with you. It is never lost. Any effort done in that direction is always with you. It is never lost. You always begin from where you had left your journey. Okay. So whatever way we take, whatever system we go, we will have to have control on our attachment. Vairagya, we will have to have. And Vivek, in Vivek Chudamani, when we say how to arrive at Vairagya, say apply Vivek, then Vairagya will come. Although Chudamani did not say, I inferred it that way. When you apply your Vivek, ripened discretion becomes dispassion. It becomes dispassion. Vivek, what was the Vivek? Gautam applied Vivek, and that is why his path was opened to become Buddha. He applied Vivek. And Vivek immediately led to Vairagya. Vivek said, discrimination said, the right discrimination said, the application of right kind of logic said that everyone gets diseased. I will also someday can be diseased. This is a suffering. I will have to go through. Old age, I will also have to go through. Death, I will also have to go through. The moment he applies it, becomes rooted in it, Vairagya is automatic. You don't have to create Vairagya. You see? But our problem is we live in this world in a way, and we expect others also to be in this world forever. We expect that as if we are here forever, and others will also be here forever. The wrong notion. And the wrong notion we want to sustain. Vairagya will not come. Vairagya will not come. So these are the ways. Let us talk on each of these little, how to develop these things. Develop these things. One is shraddha. Shraddha is Patanjali. In the system of Patanjali, shraddha is not shastrasya guru vakyasya. No, it is not. Shraddha is, which later on Patanjali will define and that will come, is state of joy, inner joy. You don't have to believe in words of any guru. You don't have to reason it out. Just be happy. That's it. Be happy. All the time being happy means you have faith. You have faith in the whole schema of things. You have faith in the design of the Supreme. You have faith in your destiny. You have faith that you are taken care of. You have faith that the best will be given to you in the way it is beneficial for you. That's it. Even the worst may come your way, but it will be for your benefit. And then you will always be happy, always be joyous. That's the way of Shraddha. I believe, I have faith in the supreme design of the Lord. Whatever has come my way, it has come in my life for my own evolution. And whatever will come for my own evolution. Shraddha has to be cultivated over time. It takes a different set of, you have to develop a different kind of attitude to cultivate Shraddha. But I have told you the way. Try to be happy all the time for no reasons. That is the way of Shraddha. Simple. Patanjali doesn't talk in too many words. He gives us direct method. Shraddha means being happy. The one who is happy, the one who is joyous, will have Shraddha. Will always have Shraddha. Shraddha means faith. Faith means the world in which I live is controlled and operated by a supreme being who is aware of all my shortcomings, all my uh, you know, weak points, for which he will continue to give me opportunities so that I can win over them and emerge stronger. Right? That's it. That he chose me to give me a difficult situation in my life. I'm happy because you thought that I am capable. That's a sure one. And when you are in that state of previous, that as I said, this kind of understanding and full of joy, you're always full of enthusiasm, you're always full of virya, you're always full of vigor. In this world, when we are given different difficult situation, we think that no, it's a tragedy upon. That's the biggest problem of a person who is devoid of shraddha. For the virya part, for the enthusiasm part, what do? I told you about the shraddha part. For the enthusiasm, for the vigor, for the virya, of course, there is one way which we all agree to, that there are two channels through which we spend our energies in drastic way, in very, very huge way, right? Two. Number one, krodha. Second one, kama. Okay, kama and krodha. These are the two channels or doorways through which we spend a lot of huge amounts of energy, and that renders it to a state which is lacking enthusiasm and vigor. So while You can continue to be in your material world, in your devoting and dedicating your time and resources and all your physical capacities to keep yourself happy and others too. But a discipline will help. uh, A discipline of bhoga will help. Second, you should always have at least this much control on your mind that you are not getting to that so high agitation mode where all your energy is lost. That means getting to the bout of anger. Right? I'm just giving you a practical way. I'm not saying that from a Muni I have become a Rishi, nothing affects me. Hmm? People will continue to say, I will not bother about it. No, you may not happen. It may happen, but you must always have that inner feeling. If you will have shraddha, you will have vigor. Why? Because if somebody is saying something bad to you, people are blaming you, people are giving challenges to you, people are giving tough situations to you, you'll always have shraddha. Okay, God is giving me. That means he thinks I'm capable of taking all that criticism without being shattered by it, without being affected by it. Understand? So I will not take negative things in a negative way. Why? Because now this is a challenge. God is giving me another lesson, another challenge. Good. But another way to have control on your anger, you can't directly control your anger, but you should directly work on your expectations. Instead, you should work on your expectations. You see, basically, Krodha is the culmination of Kama. Now, I use the word Kama in that sense where your physicality was involved, but Kama simply means desire. Okay. Desire means you're desiring, expectation is, of course, a specific desire. You have lot of expectations means you have lot of desire. That is, you're full of Kama. You're expecting that others to behave in particular way, that is also Kama. You're wanting something to happen tomorrow, that is also Kama. You want a particular kind of dish in the dinner plate, you are affected by Kama. You want a particular kind of dress, Kama. You only want to have a particular shade of color in your room, Kama. You want a particular size of pillow, Kama. The more Kama you have, the more occasions are there that you'll become a candidate who will run into krodha, anger, having lesser and lesser expectations. And I'll tell you, you don't have to be a great psychologist, a great rocket scientist to understand that not keeping expectations is only leading to our peace of mind. You see? And the problem of this world is we have mortgaged our peace of mind to our own people. How? Because we hardly expect anything from others. Okay. We expect things from our own people and they definitely don't deliver. Give it. Okay. So what happens at the end of it? It leads to turbulence in our inner being. Okay. When you have expectations, it also means you have a rag and attachment from that person. I'm talking of person specific expectations now. Our desire to tag people as our own is coming in the way of our own peace of mind. If you have not used this word my, you will not bother if something is delivered or not. But the moment you use this word my, it's a problem. So while in effect, you, or rather in real life, in your practical life, you continue to use the nicest of words for some people, but fully knowing that they are worthless, useless, not capable. See, people are around by design. Different people are around me by design. The design of the highest, the divine. And they are around me. Now they behave in their own ways. So don't waste your time in mending the ways of people around you. This is how you develop right kind of virya. And with this kind of virya only, you will save lot of energy there, because you are not spending your energy in changing the ways of people around you. Fully accepting there may be, I don't know which yoni they belong, but there may be a different yoni, because Shastras tell that well within human configuration there are 4 lakh yonis. I don't know which yoni this person is and what is his characteristic, what is his nature, how he behaves, what he does, what is his intentions or her intentions. We really never know, and therefore I'm not bothered. Right? And similarly, this should become applicable to you. As I said, you don't know which yoni you belong, and therefore you might be just fearing someone, having a kind of animosity towards someone, because you don't know which kind of yoni you are. Maybe among these 2 lakh, 4 lakh yonis which humans are supposed to be having, maybe some are not in very good terms with each other, and maybe you are just dealing with them. So you'll have to take it that way. Who knows? Who is born in your family, or whom you have chosen to become the part of your family life or life. They will be like that. Let them be like that. Don't spend too much energy there, and that energy saved will be used in your own endeavors of spiritual journey, and that is the way to create more virya. Now, smriti. Of course, this is also very important. Smriti will become active. You see, there are 2 levels of smriti here. You see, in the same sense. Shraddha, virya, smriti, samadhi, prajna. Look at it. Smriti and prajna. We think that smriti itself is having all the wisdom. See, all your wisdom is in your smriti. Is it not? And therefore you thought that smriti itself should be sufficient. Now this smriti is the outcome of the vigor through which you live your life. This smriti is outcome of the vigor in your life. Let's say in your family, I'm giving you a practical example. In your family, let's say your husband has gotten an invitation from his friend that there is a party, and you generally don't like the company of that fellow, or you don't, even if you drop it and suppose okay, I will accompany my husband to that party. You go there without zeal, somehow you just drag yourself to that party, come back, and somebody asks after 10 days what happened in the party. So you will start by this word, nothing as usual. Nothing. The first word will be nothing. You see, how we speak tells a lot about how we have lived that, how important it is, how much vigor we have put it in it. Let's say, what are you doing in your life? Nothing. So nothing means you are you are completely lacking in your vigor. Right? If you begin with this nothing, word called nothing, then you should understand that you are not living life at the highest possible energy level. You are lacking in virya. Now, further, nothing is something which you started with in defining that party or recalling that party. Acha, what all was there? I hardly took notice of it. I just spent time there and came back. Right or not? That will be your state. Correct, na? So will you have any smriti of that party where you just dragged yourself and without any enthusiasm, vigor, and zeal, you went there? So you'll not have any smriti. You'll not have any smriti, or you may have a smriti which is kind of scattered and un, unimpressive, or kind of bits and bytes here and there, you which will be dropped later on, and nothing will actually impress you so much. And if at all anything impresses there, I'll tell you, there is also one thing which you should always know. If at all there is anything negative in that party, because your own state is negative, you will always have something negative to recall and recollect from that party, for sure. Nothing else. So this is our state of being. If we were enthusiastic, we will have positive smritis. That is also a way. That is also something which you should always know. That as positive smriti means your state is positive or not, you're full of vigor or not. Smriti itself is the outcome of vigor. That memory, smriti means memory. Memory is the outcome of your enthused state of being, your enthusiasm about life, your vigor in your life will lead to smriti. Correct? There may be any reason. But suppose we are not dependent on the external things for this vigor which we have cultivated because of shraddha. Because of shraddha. Shraddha means unconditional joy. And that unconditional joy will infuse a lot of vigor in us. This vigor is out of unconditional joy which we have been able to cultivate within us. And then smriti is natural outcome. And we will have right kind of a smriti. We will be able to ignore negative things in that vigor, in that positivity of our own being. And thus smritis will become least and least bothering and least disturbing. Over time, that will lead to samadhi. You see? Samadhi, not that samadhi. Samadhi means stable state of mind, calm state of mind. This is samadhi. The word samadhi here is not that samadhi which Patanjali is referring to later. Okay. And once you have become calm, quiet, and joyous, the higher wisdom is open to you. You will have prajna at your disposal. Right? This is the way for others. Who others? The ones who are not so blessed or have been lazy in their last lifetime also, and this lifetime also they are wasting. They're not doing any effort to develop these, cultivate these five. See, who is a videha, who is prakriti lay? The one who has followed all these five in the past life and reached to somewhat sampragnat state of in sampragnat also. I told last time that last two are important, Ananda and Asmita. He has been able to reach there. And once he has been able to reach there in Ananda and Asmita samadhi, that person will be born as Bhava Pratyay. Is destined to succeed. And for us, what are we doing? We failed last time also. Now also we are wasting. No shraddha, no joy, no no vigor, no memory, no right kind of positivity, no peace of mind, and thus never ever having access to higher wisdom. ठीक है भाई, सभी को समझ में आ गया ना? Everyone understood what Patanjali says. What we made out of Patanjali is this statement, Sutra number 20, right? So for today, that is it. Thank you so much for listening. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shiva.